Hi everybody, hope you're all doing okay. It's now Friday, 5 days on from the last video that we did. Quick update today, hopefully not too long. Things have not been going that well this week. I did a video at the weekend. You can probably see the rock work looks completely different to what it did at the start of the week, and the reason behind that I will go into in a moment. So I've been out, bought a couple more corals this week. There's a torch coral in, there's a couple of SPS corals in there as well, and I've also got myself a Sunny D Zoa to try and start cultivating a few of them over the next few weeks and months, so we'll see how that goes. Tank seems to be going okay, and one of the things that I would say is, so as I mentioned last week, I've been dosing the Red Sea Coral Nutrition, the AB Plus stuff. I don't know whether it's just me, but it looks like it's having an effect already. I've got a bit of growth coming off this plate in Montipora down in this bottom left corner. I feel like I'm getting a bit of growth on the Goniopora already as well. It seems to be bulking out a little bit. I might be talking rubbish, but we'll see how it goes. And then I'm also seeing some growth on the Digitata that I bought last week as well. So things are coming along nicely at the moment. Phosphates running at nil. My ammonia and my nitrate again are both down. Are both down at nil. Nitrate still being a bugger. I just don't know what to do about that. Again, if anybody's got any sort of suggestions, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, it's the tank's obviously now. Well, I say it's fully cycled. It feels like it's fully cycled anyway. Fish are doing all right. So on to the weekend's exploits. So weekend came and I was. You might remember I showed you the green plate in Montipora, and I was getting some. Looked like it was starting to shed, and then I thought the best thing to do would be to look up and see whether there was any potential issue with the Canary Wrasse that I've got. Looked it up, and I noticed that it can start to nip away at the SPS corals. So obviously made the mistake here of sort of jumping the gun with things. What I decided to do was, everything else looked fine coral wise. The polyps were extended on the Digitata. Montipora looked like it was getting a little bit of growth on it on the red one. And as I say, nothing looked like it was going wrong. The readings were fine phosphate wise. KH was still okay. It had obviously buffered up once I'd done a water change last week. But yeah, everything was looking okay. But yeah, this thing seemed to be shedding. Now, I thought it was the Canary Wrasse. It wasn't the Canary Wrasse by the looks of it. It looks as though, to me, when I ended up testing the salinity in the water, it was up running at 36, 38, something like that. I can't quite remember off the top of my head now, but it was higher than what it should have been anyway. And I think that was ultimately possibly what's caused it. Might not have been, but it would make sense. I was finding, so when I eventually realised that it could be the salt water, the salinity in the water, I had already put this torch coral in. Now, the torch coral was extending, but not like it is now, and the coloration on it wasn't quite right, those sorts of things. So tested the salinity and could see that it crept up to 36, 38, something like that. Did a bit of another water change, but the water change obviously this time was just RO water. Took a bit of salt out and topped it up with the RO water, and it seemed to come down quite quickly. Everything started looking okay again. The torch coral was extended nicely, and as you can see now, and so it wasn't the Canary Wrasse, but in the meantime, I thought the best thing to do was to get the Canary Wrasse out of there. I kind of, as I say, I jumped the gun a little bit, and what I decided to do was the only way I could catch the Canary Wrasse, you can see the Canary Wrasse is actually back in there now, but the only way I could catch it was I thought, well, I'm going to have to take the rock work out. I tried catching it with everything in the tank, I was just getting no luck. So rather than stress everything else out, I thought I'll take the rock work out for 2 minutes, catch it, get it, put in a box so I could take it back to the fish shop, and then pop it back in, pop everything else back in the tank within a couple of minutes. Plan started off fine, got all of the rock work out. Obviously the rock work's in one piece, as it were, because I've used milliput to sort of cement it all together, but took it out absolutely fine, plunked it down on the floor. Wife helped me just take some of the weight so that we weren't putting all the weight in one area. Popped it down and everything was going swimmingly. Got the fish out, popped it in the box, and then it was then time to get the other stuff back in the tank. Picked the rock up, and for some reason I think I didn't quite have as much of it as my wife had of it, so it ended up 2 or 3 of the pieces snapped off the milliput, and then lo and behold, the top piece of rock, which had my hammer on it, and it also had my digitator on it at the time, fell to the ground, and the worst thing sort of happened in my mind. Digitator broke into 50 pieces, maybe not that many, but you know what I mean, and strewn all across the floor. And then the hammer took quite a knock as well. There was bits of the hammer on the floor, including the flesh was on the floor. And I thought, right, that's it now. I've lost both of those lovely bits of coral that had settled into the tank really well. So you can see the rock works completely changed shape now, because with it being the real reef rock, as it hit the ground, a couple of the pieces of it snapped off. So I couldn't get it back in the way that I was hoping to get it back in. And to be fair, I'm actually quite happy with how the rock work looks now. There's a nice big cavern here. There's another one at the back, and then there's a couple towards the back of it. There's plenty of room for the flow to get around the tank still, and it all looks lovely. I had to go to the fish shop on Monday, which resulted in me buying the torch coral. Fish shop was, I needed to get some more milliput because I'd run out. So bobbed over there, picked the torch up whilst I was there. That was 30 quid, I think it was, for the frag. And you might remember I had some of the Evolution Aqua Reef balls. I had a whole box of that left, so I thought I'll just put that towards my towards getting the torch. I also had some points with Bursco Aquatics, some loyalty points, so I used those up. Got that, got some milliput, and really went to work on sort of getting the tank looking back to what I thought it should look like. I also got myself an extra piece of real reef rock, because with the couple of pieces that are broken off, there was just no way that I was going to be able to get it all looking like I wanted it to with the way it was left as it was. So I set it all together. It's all nice and set now. It all seems to be in place well. You can see the torch has really settled in nicely. So headed back out today, and going back to that a minute, I've obviously learned the lesson there that jumping to conclusions is not the thing to do, and I've been really lucky. I actually managed to salvage there's 4 pieces of the digitator. One of the pieces has managed to sort of get stuck in one of the bits of the rock, but 3 of the pieces now are that I thought they might just die off and I'd just be left with the skeleton. They're actually looking fantastic. Coloration's nice. I can see on this one down here, I'm actually getting that little white tip on the end now, so I'm getting a little bit of growth on that one. Top one's getting a little bit, and this one is slowly starting to look like it might do, so we'll see over the next few days whether that starts getting a little tiny bit of growth on it as well. But yeah, it all looks like it's going well, as I say. I've got I don't know what this fella is at the back. I think that's I think that might be a digitator as well. I don't really know. I've just put that in today. I can't see any of the polyps out at the moment, but we'll see over the next couple of days if that sort of starts to come out. Got my Sunny D down in this bottom corner here. That's not opened up yet, but we'll, again, they always take a little bit of time to bed in. But I'm just hoping that I get some nice, the polyps start feeding off on that SPS at the top. And as I say, it really has been a lesson learned. The torch coral is 2 heads, but I can already see on the one at the back, the mouth or the skeleton sort of starting to grow like this to close off to then separate into another head. So that one's looking good. Fish are doing well. As I said, I've been dosing the no pox still, dosing the Seachem Prime when I've been doing any water changes. I'm still putting the AB Plus in. I'm going to continue doing that because it seems to be doing the job at the moment. And fish are still feeding well, so it's all going well this week, apart from that little error that we had towards the start of the week. So as I mentioned on my last video, the plan was to get a costing video out to you over the last few days. Because of what happened, I didn't manage to do it, but I've got all the stuff out down here ready to get out, tot it all up. So I'm going to try and do that tomorrow morning, and we'll see how things go. So good to see you all. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. My subscriber count's going up nice and slowly now. I think I'm only up to about 30 subscribers, but you know, it's better than nothing. If there's anything that you can think that I could do to sort of improve the videos, I'm trying my best for you, obviously, but if there's anything you can think of, please let me know. I'd appreciate any feedback that anybody's got. And I hope to see you soon. As I say, if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. It all helps, and I'll keep the content coming. Thanks very much and have a good weekend.